Looks like there was a lot of people walking outside first saying, oh, it's just a cloudy day. Nope, the rain's full on coming. Fortunately, I flew a little bit ahead of time. But in terms of the weather, what's going on today? Funny enough, apparently there's a hurricane out there that's really strong in the Atlantic. What's it called here? Hurricane Sam strengthens more, watching possible Atlantic impacts next week. And I think the interesting thing was, I was reading how there's that company where they made that sail drone I've read before, where they send out, essentially I guess it's like, what do you call it, like a boat or something like that out in sea, and it basically monitors the situation, and they actually show video and stuff like that of what the oceans are like during the wind. That's kind of crazy. Can you imagine trying to actually fly an airborne drone like during this time? I'm actually surprised the wind and stuff doesn't flip the boat over. Or maybe it has a way to get back on its right position, so to speak. Because according to those weather reports, what is this thing going at? 230 kilometers an hour winds? And in terms of drones in the air, I guess people are still terrified about them overall. Although this one here, another one in terms of a drone being shot out of the sky apparently. This one says, Sayre man allegedly shoots down drone, charges expected to be filed. Gregory Farrell of Sayre is facing potential charges after allegedly shooting down a company's drone. According to Pennsylvania State Police, Excellent Business Services was contracted through Clavrig to inspect utility poles using drones. One of the operators reported losing contact with one of the drones after hearing multiple gunshots. State police say the drone was located in a trash can behind Farrell's house, but troopers say he did not want to discuss how the drone ended up in the trash can. That's kind of interesting. The state police categorized the incident as criminal mischief, resulting in damages worth more than $1,000. State police say the drone is worth $2,000 and that charges will be filed in Bradford County. It's kind of interesting where a lot of the drones that are getting, quote, shot down are like company drones and official ones. Ultimately, as I mentioned before, it just comes down to information. If it's always only one side of the coin, like in this case, people fear-monger it and so forth, saying 100% they'll take down airplanes, even like a toy, then what do you expect in terms of people's, I guess, fear level and tolerance of the stuff? Which is kind of interesting in the thought of information, because recently in the news, it seems like a big one was how Russia apparently was threatening to ban YouTube. I was like, what's this all about? Now apparently YouTube is introducing some kind of policy where they say here, managing harmful vaccine content on YouTube. In a nutshell, they're saying they're going to ban videos and channels where anyone who has vaccine information, which they consider, I guess, misinformation, they will ban them. It doesn't matter what it is, it's not just COVID related. So they're saying things like, it could be someone saying a vaccine causes autism or something like that. So anything in terms of information like that, they will ban if it's not, I guess, scientifically correct in their view. Now they recently, with that, banned some sites like RT or something like that. It was like a Russian news agency, and they were saying it wasn't warranted. And here, because of that, it says Russia announces retaliation over RT YouTube ban. YouTube initially suspended the Russian-funded news channel Russia Today for a week for spreading misinformation related to COVID-19. According to the video sharing platform, RT consequently tried to circumvent this ban by creating an alternative channel, leading to a permanent ban on Tuesday evening. And saying, quote, YouTube has always had a clear community guidelines that define what is and is not allowed on the platform, a YouTube spokesperson said, adding that because of RT's attempt at circumventing the initial temporary ban, both channels have now been permanently deleted. Russia Today vehemently denied the allegations. Editor-in-chief Margarita Simonyan said on Twitter that the ban was tantamount to a media war launched by Germany against Russia. She called on the Russian government to take immediate countermeasures. And basically it says the government reacted to the ban, with the Russian Foreign Ministry spokesman calling it unprecedented information aggression against Russia. Whoa, sounds like it's gonna be like a big war, like they say, with media stuff. Based on history with social media companies recently, I don't know if they can actually do that in a impartial manner, so to speak. Because how do you fact check the fact checkers? Because I've known lots of stories where they ended up being wrong. But they apparently have some kind of exception. It says here, there are important exceptions to our new guidelines. Given the importance of public discussion and debate to scientific process, we will continue to allow content about vaccine policies, new vaccine trials, and historical vaccine successes or failures on YouTube. Personal testimonials relating to vaccines will also be allowed, so as long as the video doesn't violate other community guidelines or the channel doesn't show a pattern of promoting vaccine hesitancy. So that's a little contradicting, isn't it? Because what if they allow personal testimonials relating to vaccines? Does that mean, let's just say there's a negative one. A person claims, oh, this vaccine's giving them, I don't know, a headache or something like that. Would that be technically okay? Or are they gonna say, no, we're gonna ban you because that promotes hesitancy? This is one of those topics too. Should, I guess, a social media company be allowed to do this? I know people argue they don't want like that Section 230 and stuff abolished. At the same time, I think you have to choose one or the other. Either you're a platform, kind of like a utility of sort, or you're basically some kind of publisher dictating, like they say, what's true and what's not. I mean, it's your choice overall, but I guess as long as you make it 100% clear in that case. At the same time, I remember reading some stories too where some companies are actually suing social media companies where when they ban them, they flag them and they classify them, they publish in press releases and so forth saying this guy was spreading like false information and all that, when it ended up not being true. Like there was actual, I don't know, videotape evidence, but they're trying to automatically claim it was not true. And because of that, they're actually being sued, like the social media companies. So it'd be kind of interesting to see if that actually follows through, because that's kind of like a workaround in terms of saying, oh, you can't sue like this and that or whatever because it's their platform. At the same time, I guess that could constitute as what? Maybe defamation, because you're accusing this guy of doing this and so forth when really they weren't. But that's one of those things where what? You need bunches of money and lawyers and so forth, which most people don't have the resources to do. The other points though, like just based on recent history, it just seems like with topics like these, people end up being wrong so many times. So how can you do this fairly? I just don't really see a way to do that other than just to allow people for the most part to put the pieces together. I don't know, to me that seems like the only fair way overall. Because I used the example before of doctors promoting cigarettes in the past apparently. Like imagine that, like with this situation where they had a policy saying, well, ban everyone who says cigarettes are bad, because that's what the scientific community currently says. Whereas I'm pretty sure there were other people arguing back and forth saying, no, that's not the case. I think one topic that would make me think how it's better just to have the information out there, and if they're wrong, then you should be able to just provide the facts or whatever, is there's a lot of people who believe the earth is flat, for example, correct? And they have all these, I guess, theories and so forth. And there's a lot of people that would show, hey, look, we have actual pictures in space and all that. So you could come from the angle of, oh, that's it, I'm just gonna ban everyone that says the earth is flat. I would imagine that would only increase people's suspicion, saying, hey, why are you silencing us about this? It must be true, correct? Instead, why don't you just let them do it in that case there? And if you really want to rule out the thought, just say, hey, for example, people can travel in space commercially now, so why don't somebody fund them to get a ticket to fly up there and see if it's true or false? It should be that simple, isn't it? I think that's better overall anyways. See you guys later.